Good morning, everyone. My name is Josh Blaylock, and this is the Skype for Business recap. This is the Nashville edition. I am in the Music City this week, traveling for my first week at Deloitte. Been a great week. When we left off last week, I mentioned we were kind of in the path of that giant blizzard that blew through and blanketed the whole central East Coast. We had quite a bit of snow where we were at in North Carolina as well. Built some snowmen, did some sledding. Kids loved it. It was good times. So, but I did survive. However, I had to shift my travel plans about 4 different times, as I was supposed to be in DC for part of that first part of the week. That didn't happen. So I ended up here in Nashville for the whole week, and it's been a great week though. It is early, and I have not had coffee yet. So I'm going to do my best to stick to my notes here and not stray too much and not have to cram this thing into multiple cuts. Traveling this morning after a morning at work, grab a quick lunch, get back on a plane, and I've got a hotel room to get packed back up and cleaned up here. So first thing here. All right, so yeah. First part of my notes are the things I just covered that survived the blizzard, stayed here in Nashville for the week. It's been an awesome first week, gotten to know a ton of people, started to wrap my brain around, the new environments that I'll be working in, so that's always good. But, as is with your first several days or weeks at any place, you're usually involved in a lot of paperwork and training modules and all that good stuff. So I've been kind of working my way through that. The other parts, if you follow me on Twitter and have kind of been watching any of my posts this week, a little bit of community activity, but it's been more heavy on, tonight I'm at such and such a place having a beer. So, you're not in town, you got to stop in, grab some dinner, check out the local food, and where the best place is to grab a craft brew. So I found a couple good places in town. Also, when in Rome, you got to be a little touristy, right? At least a little bit. So, and after all, I wear this cowboy hat at every show, so almost every show. So even though these won't really be in the frame at all, I had to complete the look here. Next up is a belt buckle, I guess, and we'll figure it out as we go. But at any rate, had to, like I said, when in Rome. So I'm in Nashville. There's about 500 boot stores downtown. I'm staying downtown, if you've noticed out the window. And it was the thing to do. So, moving on. All right. Yeah, so since I was in Nashville this week, I wasn't planning on going to a Skype for Business user group until the Charlotte one, which is, I want to say, in a couple weeks from now. But I had the opportunity to go to the Nashville one, as that was taking place on, was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday night, and that was a great time. Got to network with people I wouldn't normally network with, and then of course all the normal activities of a user group. We had the vendor on site. There was a Plantronics rep, of course, but Polycom was giving the first presentation. So that was kind of a cool thing to go over all the newer equipment, see the Trio up and running there, and just kind of hear from them about what's new and what's in the works, etc. And then after that, the other topic of discussion was Cloud PBX, which was a very good topic to go over. It allowed several of us in the room to kind of chime in, share experiences, bounce ideas off of each other, gain points of clarification. It was a very good time. So I was glad I made it out there. To those of you that were there also, it was great to meet you and great to see you there. As it turns out, the organizers for it work at Deloitte, so it was pretty handy. The people I was working with were organizing the event, and I got to go with them, and gave me a little bit more time to hang out and have some discussions there. So very good time at the user group. If you saw my previous episode where I talked about my first user group experience, you'll know that I had the fortune of winning a Voyager Focus, a Plantronics Voyager Focus UC headset, and I love the thing. It is amazing. This time around, wouldn't you know it, the first name out of the drawing there was me. So I got to go up and take my pick, and this time I sided with a Polycom VVX 600. And that is my first official desk phone that I own, not loaned to me by the company or whatever that I'm working for. So it is a slick phone. I had it plugged in and using it the other day, and I was having all kinds of fun checking out the settings and playing with the integration. And I would highly recommend that phone if you're shopping for a good desk phone to go with your Skype for Business implementation and setup. Great Bluetooth settings. Just all the settings that I went over on it and messed with were awesome. Being able to see my calendar reminders come up right on the screen. And I didn't even get to play with all of the integration because I didn't have a webcam set up to it and all that, but I would definitely throw a thumbs up for that device. Check it out if you've been thinking about it or interested at all. So that was my user group experience for the week. All right, so moving on. One other thing I did share on Twitter, and I'm talking a bit about what I did this week because it's been such a busy week for me that I didn't have as much time to stay really tightly in tune with what was going on out on Twitter and LinkedIn. It was, I peeked in here and there, got a bit of a feel, but I was very, very busy throughout the week doing a lot of my own stuff. So one thing I got the opportunity to do, though, was evaluate the Jabra Evolve 65 headset. And I know it's not a direct comparison to the Plantronics Voyager Focus UC headset. They're both great headsets, and both have awesome feature sets, and I like them both a lot. At the end of the day, I have to land on the side of the Plantronics Voyager Focus UC. If for nothing else, I found it to be a more comfortable headset. It just felt like it was more comfy on the ears, like it kind of shaped them better. It was a cozier fit on my head overall. The boomstick for the microphone on the Jabra Evolve 65, that thing comes all the way out to being right in front of your mouth. So you have that on, you go to take a drink, and it bumps into the boomstick, and it's not a terrible design, but I felt that it got in the way. Whereas the Voyager Focus UC has a smaller boomstick that just kind of comes out to here, doesn't get in the way of your mouth at all. Still a great microphone. So there's that. The Bluetooth capabilities on both of them were good. I felt the UC was a slightly smoother transition between devices, but it wasn't anything horribly notable. There was really good flipping back and forth between your phone, your connected phone, and your connected PC, etc. So yeah, those were the main things that kind of stuck out there. It both had good quality as far as I noticed. I haven't done extensive testing or anything on that to compare call quality, so I can't really weigh in on that angle of it. But in either case, great headsets. I would give a thumbs up to both. My personal preference is that I will likely be using my Voyager Focus UC for day-to-day use, and using the Evolve 65 for testing here and there, potentially. So, there's that take. My mentioning that on Twitter sparked quite a bit of conversation back and forth about it, actually. So I was good to see everybody else's input and opinions on it, and there were some very good points brought out about that. So thank you guys for jumping in, giving me your thoughts and opinions, bringing up what a better comparison may be. And then others why that is sort of a good comparison but is not, and it was a good conversation. So aside from that, I didn't see any, and again, it could just be my lack of being out there this week and seeing everything in as much detail, but I didn't see any real crazy earth-shattering news or product releases or anything like that take place throughout the week. There were a good few publication blog posts put out and everything. The MVPs were definitely busy at work with that this week, so I'll call out a few of those that I've seen. A couple of them are fairly recent here as well, from last night or this morning. The first one is a book that's out on the TechNet Gallery from Tom Morgan, Office Servers and Services MVP. And the title of this book is Learn Skype Web SDK in 30 Days. That really appealed to me when I saw the title, and I would like to, on all my free time, dig into that when I can and start learning a bit more on the dev side. WebRTC, having a full-blown Skype for Business interface in a web page is highly intriguing to me, especially having recently come from somewhere where there's a large number of Linux users in the crowd that don't have very good options for integrating with everybody else, collaborating. I mean, so great topic, very well done, and there's already been some good praise on that. So nice job putting that out there, Tom. Any of you looking to really start digging into the dev side of Skype for Business, this is a great place to get a start. So I'll check that out. I will put a link to the gallery in the YouTube video description, as always. The second one was from Fabrizio Volpe, again, Office Servers and Services MVP, and he put a blog post out there about, and let me pull it up here, calling emergency numbers, E911, with Skype for Business PSTN calling services. So this is obviously a great topic about new and trending features and deployment options that are out there for us when it comes to hybrid scenarios. And Fabrizio did a great job running through what that's like and the ins and outs there. So I will again put the link to that on the YouTube video description, and you'll have a chance to go check that out yourself. Very good pieces of information in there. So also good diagrams, etc., that he put in there as well. So nicely done, Fabrizio. Thank you. And the last one I wanted to call out was another Office Servers and Services MVP, Tom Arbuthnot, and he had a blog post on his tomtalks.uk blog about HDX Real-Time Optimization Pack 2.0 for Skype for Business on Citrix XenApp and Zen Desktop VDI. So if you are playing it all in a Citrix environment at all, messing around with desktop virtualization for your Skype for Business clients, this may pertain to you and carry some good information there. I have not ever worked in that realm, so I cannot say that I've dug in too deeply there, but Tom is always very clear and concise and to the point, and has a very good style about writing his blog posts. So don't hesitate to jump over, even if you're not currently using an environment like that, but you're thinking about it, or it's just interesting info for you to pick up and digest. Jump over to his blog and check that out. So again, the blog is tomtalks.uk, but I will put a direct link to this blog post in the video description. So good stuff. All right, guys, it's about coffee 30 for me. It feels like it's past coffee 30. I'm gonna wrap this up, get my hotel room packed up, and get on the road to get this last day of my first week going here, and get travels underway for the day as well. So thank you guys for tuning in this week. It has been a crazy week, and next week maybe I'll have things a little more normalized for the show. But regardless, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And you guys have a great weekend. Rest up. For those of you that are Central and East U.S., enjoy the fact that we are not inundated with snow and a blizzard, and maybe some actually better, nicer, sunnier weather in this week. For everybody else, as usual, just enjoy your weekend, be safe, And hopefully we'll see you back here next week on Friday morning for the next Skype for Business recap. And here's the couple minutes of awkwardness while I go to stop my broadcast. All right. Adios, everyone.